Exciting morning, Africa, Nigeria, and of course, my very own Lagos. A special welcome to Ways Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? Every day on this show, we discuss issues that affect our future, from politics to governance to leadership, everything health. We discuss technology-driven solutions and innovations. Of course, finances are not left out, and trending issues are part of the things that we discuss on this table. Sitting pretty on this table this morning is Ayo Kikiola Taiwo Jalukmo, and I'm here to anchor this show this morning alongside my beautiful co-anchor, God's Beauty Israel. Good morning, baby girl.
Good morning, love.
You're
How are
looking
you?
so bright. Oh my God.
I
Is
think
that
it's
the
the whole
Valentine's
Valentine. I
glow?
tell you, I think it's the Valentine's glow, really.
But how was your weekend generally?
It was good. I mean, I got remembered by a few persons that I didn't know. I didn't know I was, that valuable. I mean, I got so many gifts, and I really don't know what exactly prompted, because it wasn't something I was expecting, right? I remember posting something, I think on Friday or so, there was this random post I saw on X. I just, screenshotted it and I posted it on my stages, and it's about, the fact that I didn't get like a call during Valentine, me saying my character was bad, true. Only for my guys to, start texting me on Saturday, and they're like, nah, your character isn't bad, baby, come take this. I mean, I had a lot of, a lot of gifts, and I really want to say thank you so much for those people that took their time, because, I mean, of all the things that I got both yesterday and on Friday, I actually felt it was very thoughtful. First off, I've actually not spoken to this person for a long time. And the fact that you had to remember me, send me things, I mean, I'm actually very grateful. So I say thank you. Thank you so much to you guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so that's a lovely thank you for the Valentine's Day gift. I think I got a lot of gifts also, and I was very excited. I was like, yeah, send me more. I can't wait for another Valentine's. I think I should start celebrating every holiday as an opportunity to receive gifts. I don't know about you guys, but about me, please send me gifts. My love language is receiving gifts. Is receiving gifts and giving you words of affirmation to give me more. Well, on this table this morning, we're going to be discussing a very critical issue concerning Nigeria and its security challenges. We'll go on a break right now, and when we return, we'll go straight into headlines for today. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. So we'll go straight into the papers for today. Today we'll be highlighting stories from headlines from the Punch newspaper and, of course, the New York Times. Going straight into the New York Times this morning, God's Beauty is going to take us through that.
All right, straight into the New York Times newspaper. Top left, as I see, we have how a senator arrived at yes from had no. Right side column, we have German leader rebukes Vance over far right. Lower left column, we have another swap helps sustain truce in Gaza. Bottom center, a crisis of care at Planned Parenthood clinics. The last but not the least here, we have as Brazilians flock to the pharmacies for weight loss drugs, so do the bandits. So I want to quickly give more updates on what's going on in Gaza. We have here another swap helps sustain truce in Gaza. So a new prisoner swap between Israel and Hamas is taking place, with Israel releasing several detainees in exchange for hostages held in Gaza. This marks another step in efforts to maintain a fragile ceasefire. Now, this exchange is crucial for sustaining the ongoing truce as both parties continue to negotiate terms for de-escalation. It also provides hope for families awaiting the safe return of their beloved ones and indicates diplomatic progress in an otherwise tense conflict. Despite the temporary ceasefire, the situation remains unstable. There are fears that hostilities could resume if negotiations break down, and concerns persist about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, as well as the broader implication for regional security. So I'll start on the note that at least, thank God, there's still good updates, although I say it's a good news, given that there's still, good negotiations. So if you know you're holding
ongoing.
my people, exactly, if you know you're holding my people, release them, and I like the fact that everywhere is calm. I don't know if probably this is also happening, in Gaza, probably because of the things that, Trump already has planned out. So that if anything just happens now, it's just definitely going to take over. More like saying that the Gaza are not going to be,
under his own
exactly
rule.
So under his jurisdiction and all of that. So I just thank God that there's just smooth through. Everybody's doing what they are supposed to do. If you know you hold my people, just send them back to me. The Israelis are doing the same. So at the Gaza. So yeah, I think that's literally just giving more updates. The last time we had a conversation around this, it was about the fact that certain Israelis, we are not yet released from the Gaza. They don't want to release them yet. And we really don't know why we are trying to hold back and all. But now that everybody is, doing what they are supposed to do, I think it's a good news. And,
what I'm concerned about is, do they have the data of how many hostages there are in Israel?
I don't think
how many there are in Gaza.
Why I actually think they cannot have that kind of number is because so many people have actually died due to the whole war thing. So if you count the amount of people that are dead, you cannot know how many people are still, held hostage. So what I just think is, if you know that you have them, just send them back to their people. That's all that they have been stating for now. So I don't think there's a certain amount because, it's war now. So how are we going to know the people that you hold hostage and people that probably died?
Because I wonder when they say, give
war.
us our people, I'll give you your people, it's almost like there's no balance there. Some way, somehow. Eventually, they might still hold maybe 5 unfortunate ones that they will say that, okay, if we will just be there just in case anything goes wrong. Because in war, it's almost like you don't know what's going to happen next. 1 minute is about negotiation. The next minute is about hostage exchange. Another minute is about, we no agree again. Let us just scatter everything. But I hope that there's, peace reigns there. I always pray for peace in every country in the world. So I hope that Gaza experiences peace. So as the Israelis and, of course, the Hamas. Well, I'll be taking you through the Punch newspaper right now. And headline here reads, Telecoms tariff hike. Federal government deploys security agents as NLC insists on protests. Protests will be hijacked by miscreants, says NSCDC spokesman. Subscribers oppose Labour move. And to be honest, I don't know which subscriber they are talking about, because for me, this MTN people don't even want to do data again because data is now overpriced. And Airtel, I was trying to do data, they kept on bouncing it back. And that was that they wanted to review. They still had their old data bundles on. So they wanted to review it and they did not allow.
I think they have now. Because I literally bought data yesterday.
And how much did you buy data?
It's a lot. I think 1.5 is about 2 GB than usual. I think before it used to be 1.5 for probably 3 or 5 or something. But now it's a bit reduced. So for those people that used to go for 500 naira, because I thank God Oluchi is not here because I would have casted that. But 500 naira, exactly. But now it's 1 instead of 2. So yeah, that's a 50% increase.
Oh, subscribers are not happy. I'm so sorry. If there could be a lesser, more gigabytes, I would take it, not increase. But another story here reads, Alaafin says Oyo Prince asks court to sack Owade. Beside that, we have dismembered girlfriend died from asthma, says the Kwara killer cleric. Another story here reads, local government crisis. Adeleke Oyetola trade words. Labour suspends services. Above the mast, we have OPEC foresees lower Dangote refinery petrol price. Beside that, we also have Bono missing children rise as Boko Haram steps up recruitment. The last but not the least story here says, ensure fairness in deporting Nigerians, federal government tells US. I'm going to quickly discuss about part of the issues that we're discussing this morning, and it's the fact that they are saying now that Boko Haram has increased, like they've stepped up their recruitment process, and now they are now more missing children. And it's so sad that children are now the target for these people because they use them, they groom them. Basically, you know, as
Yeah.
parents, you groom your child to become the way you want them to become and all of that. Now they're taking children away from parents and they're recruiting them into banditry, kidnapping and all of that stuff. And it's very sad to see. Well, I just hope that from our conversation today, the Nigerian government, people in general, and you know the general public will be able to pick one or two things on how to avoid, how to improve our security, and then just move on from there. Well, anyways, this is all we have on today's newspaper. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is how we do it on Ways Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? Remember, you are the main ingredient in these conversations. Mondays are usually about Nigeria and all its spheres of affairs. So our phone lines are open. You can call us on 070-2500-7749 or 070-1424-2420. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button now, like and share the link. Click to channel 145 on your GoTV and do not miss this. We will be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Today we're tackling a critical issue affecting us all, Nigeria's security challenges and the way forward. From Boko Haram insurgency to banditry and kidnapping, our country is facing numerous security threats that have left many Nigerians feeling vulnerable and unsure about their safety. Today, we're not just talking about the problems. We're going to be exploring solutions. We'll be discussing the way forward from improving governance to enhancing security measures and addressing the socio-economic issues that we face in Nigeria. Joining us is a security expert, and his name is Dennis Amachree. I hope I pronounced that well. Amachree. Oh, Amachree, thank you, sir. So,
Yes.
Dennis Amachree is a security professional with 32 years of experience in public and industrial security practice. In his security career, he has been accountable for strategic leadership in security management, investigations, and intelligence analysis, asset protection, executive protection, risk and vulnerability assessment, private investigations, kidnap negotiation, and security awareness trainings for hostile environments. As a consultant, he runs Zoomlens Security Solutions firm involved in startups and framework building of the security function in companies, including oil and gas and construction companies. The firm also engages in private investigations and background checks for companies and individuals. Together this morning, we'll be examining the complexities of Nigeria's security challenges and exploring the ways to build a safer, more secure, and prosperous Nigeria. Welcome, Dennis. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Amazing to have you here. So let's get
Yes.
right into this discussion. To start, what are the pressing security challenges facing Nigeria today? I'm aware Nigeria is currently dealing with a multitude of security issues, including Boko Haram insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and even urban crime. So tell me first, what are the pressing security challenges that you see facing Nigeria, and how do you think these challenges can be addressed?
Thank you very much for having me. Nigeria security is one that has defied solution for a very long time, and I think we're making a headway now. But let's take a graphic look at it. It's like the country itself surrounded by enemies. From in the north we have unfriendly French countries. On the east, we also have unfriendly Cameroon, very unfriendly. And of course, we have Benin Republic, which also provide a corridor for, bandits and all kinds of people to sneak into Nigeria. And then in the south, of course, we have the real ocean that is facing all of us. And then, of course, a lot of things come through the ocean,
Exactly.
and we find out that people are actually coming there and stealing our oil out into foreign countries. And then as they take the oil out, they drop guns, So a whole bunch of things are happening to the country. And then inside we have bandits, all kinds of people, insurgents, So our military has been very, very thinly spread in dealing with it. And that's why we've been handling this thing for more than almost 2 decades now, handling Boko Haram, bandits, and all kinds of people. But like I said, I think we're making a headway now because with effective change of leadership in the security sector, I think we've had some very good results in recent times.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on the show. Now I want to start from where you stopped, where you said we're making a headway. I want to understand what that particular sentence or that phrase mean when you say we are making a headway, because if you check the newspaper or if you check the news that is going around the country, I don't think we're making any headway. We had a conversation earlier last month, right, where we talked about, the NYC, the people that were, abducted, kidnapped, and all of them when they were going on their way to, their various camps and, various camps and all of that. And, I mean, it's somewhere in the NYC booklets where they, tell them that, so-so roads and so-so roads are not supposed to be passed. If you pass there, you should tell your parents to prepare ransom. Tell me how that is like a headway. I want to understand when you say like we are making a headway, I want to understand what that is. Because there was also a video, right, that came out early this year where, I can't remember the particular state that happened, but I know they were like robbery attacks and all of that. And guess what? We saw uniformed men running away from the crime scene. And these are persons that are with guns. These are persons that are supposed to be fighting for the country. These are persons that are, that's your job. And you're telling me you're running out and somehow somebody is saying that, there's a headway. I want to understand what that is because, looking at it, it's not looking like there's any headway anywhere. That's why I want you to, first of all, explain what that is so that, we understand better, what you are saying.
Okay, you have answered some of the questions yourself because You're looking for the headway, and you told me about people writing to NYC people, don't pass this way, don't pass this way, like that. That's an alert. You're giving an alert, and they call it security alerts are very, very necessary in times like this. I can tell you, I used to work in the oil industry, and what we do, many people refuse to come to Nigeria because they feel that if they come, they will be kidnapped or they will be killed or stuff like that. So we have what we call journey management. And in this journey management, because we cannot, because they are attacking people, stop doing what we have to do, you know. So this is what we call, in security, we call it risk acceptance. You accept the risk and manage it so that life will go on while you're trying to get solution of that problem. So we do journey management. We tell them exactly where to go. We even attach mopoles or even soldiers to them to take them to the oil fields so that Nigeria will continue to have their resources and revenue. So that is part of it. But like I want to explain it to you here is that if you put it on a spectrum, you'll find out that the 2006 especially, has been one where there was a serious security problem in Nigeria. And as the graph goes up and up and up, and then of course it started coming down, then you have a comparative analysis to say that, yes, I think we're giving a headway, making a headway, depending on what the security agents are doing, we remember the days when they have to come in, go to a school in Chibok and take 200 and something girls out of the country, which is really, a problem, a serious problem. And then, of course, we've been battling with that, bring back our girls and all the rest until, they brought some back and all the rest. But we'll find out that that kind of action does not take place again. Although right now, what we're experiencing in the security sector is hit and run. You find out that they come in. Before, they used to have caliphates. They would take a whole local government, but now they've decimated them in such a way that what they do now, the tactics they are using is to hit, run, kidnap people, run into the bush, and then, of course, ask for ransom. And that is another area that I think the Nigerian security agencies have to do something, because we cannot keep on paying ransom. You pay ransom, and then they take the money, they go and buy new guns and stuff like that, and they come back again. I think that is a very bad situation we're facing. So that is exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you, sir. I completely agree with the fact that we cannot keep paying ransom to these people. And I've mentioned it weeks and weeks before that ransom paying, every small thing, we're there, we're in a hurry to pay ransom. First, maybe for the safety of the persons that we are, our loved ones. But at the end of the day, you see that there are cases where even after paying ransom, they end up killing these people or then moving them on to other countries, and then they are saying no more. The ones who are even being released, the scars still stay on and on. But I want us to quickly touch on this Boko Haram crisis, because in the news today, they said that they have stepped up their recruitment process and there's so many missing children. So you also mentioned that this same issue has been tackled or is being dealt with for over 2 decades. And that brings me to wonder that what are part of the things that are contributing to this persistence, especially in Nigeria? I think one of the things that I thought about when you were talking about being surrounded by enemies, that was the first thing that came to my mind, that this can be one of the things that is, promoting this Boko Haram thing, where they still have harms and everything. But what other underlying factors has contributed to the persistence in Nigeria? You also mentioned the military, how the military is, helping out in terms of wiping them out, catching them, trying to release hostages. But how many other ways can they improve in their strategy to combat Boko Haram?
Okay. Yes, you look at it and it's really, really sad that we have to be fighting Boko Haram, for all these years. We decimate them and then they regroup again. And then, of course, recently, from what we have just been hearing in the news, of course, you are in the news and media, you would have heard about it, where foreign countries, especially the United States, are, helping Boko Haram. When our former president Jonathan said it, that there might be some Boko Haram fifth columnists in his government. Many people laughed off. Many people just laugh about it and forgot it because basically the push was to get him out of office, And then, of course, there were situations where some bandits were brought into Nigeria, to rig elections. And then, of course, after the election, they are refusing to go now. And they've been with us for a very long time. So what am I saying? Our problem is compounded in Nigeria. I don't know whether it is because people don't see Nigeria as their country, because the patriotism rate is very low. Many people believe that, I am either Yoruba before I am Nigerian, or I am Fulani before I am Nigerian, or, I'm a Calabar person before. So you find out that nobody is really thinking of the country as number one. And then, of course, the security agencies will be trying, and sometimes they kill a lot of them. And then, of course, we are not, up to the task whereby we have to really take care of, these people or their families. Now, right now, like you mentioned, we have kids being recruited. In fact, 2 days ago, I was looking at a little boy who was captured. He was just a little boy. I think he was about 14 years old or so. And then they gave him an AK-47, and this guy dismantled it right in front of them and put it back together again. What does that indicate? It indicates that the future generations are being, trained into terrorism, and as they are becoming little terrorists and living with their fathers who are terrorists and everything, as they grow, we don't know which direction we're going. That will be a keg of gunpowder, So for Nigeria, I think with the myriad of problems we have, we need to look at the problem again. Many people thought that it was a Borno thing or it was a Northeast thing. At that time, we were warning Nigerians that, look, this thing could get into Lagos. And actually, we started getting even kidnappers and bandits coming around in the highways in Lagos, in the west, Ekiti and Ondo and all those kind of places. So this is the situation. And I think, like I said, we're making a headway, but we still need to do more, because there is need for us to also involve everybody, everybody in what we call the all society approach. The all society approach is one where everybody gets involved, especially the media. Terrorists are very, very hungry for publicity. And when they do one or two things, they are just seeking publicity, And Nigerian media has not done very well, because you will see the headlines, Boko Haram kill 10 Nigerian soldiers, and It boosts their morale, but at the same time, it lowers the morale of the troops, you know. And this is a game that many people don't understand. Pressmen will say they are reporting, but at the same time, it is a problem whereby these terrorists are being gingered up to, do more of what they are doing.
So I remember that apart from Boko Haram, we started hearing of ISWAP, and he sort of brought me to this, agreeing with this your conclusion when you say that when the media reports these kind of things, it sort of boosts their morale, because you can see that these are maybe two different groups or a group made out of the previous group. And then when they see that, oh, they said Boko Haram did this and it's on the headline, they are also hungry to do something that also gets them to the media space. So how do you think that while journalists are trying to maybe report the actual incident, how do you think that the media should now address, this issue of reporting? How do you think that they should report situations or cases like this?
I think we can take the Israeli model, where if terrorists hit Israel, you never hear about it. In fact, even if you hear about it, you will never see it. Because what they do is that immediately there is any situation like that, they cordon off the place, they clean up the place, and take the dead bodies away. And within about 30 minutes, that place is clear. So even when the terrorists are saying, oh, we have just killed some Israelis, they'll say, where? Where did you kill? It's a game. It's a fight for the hearts and minds of people, because like if you hear that, oh, they've just killed 10 soldiers, or they've killed a village, or they've kidnapped somebody, that news is not,
Even
it's
parents will
not
never
very
allow
comfortable.
their children to go into the
Yes.
Nigerian military or any other police force or whatever,
It
just by
is
hearing the
far-reaching.
news. I completely agree
Yeah,
with you, sir.
it's
Well, let's
very
quickly
far-reaching.
go. Yes, sir, we'll go on a quick break right now. And when we return, we'll go, go deeper into this conversation. Please be on standby, sir.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show, viewers. This conversation is one that has been on the newspaper, on the hearts of many, and some people have even been directly affected by Nigeria's security challenges. Some got out of it, some never did. Some do not even know what's coming from state to state, to country. We have Mr. Dennis here, who is giving us insights on how we can tackle Nigeria's security challenge and what's the way forward. And that's if there is any to even start with. God's Beauty has a question for Dennis, so I'm going to let her go straight into it.
Yes. So, Dennis, I wanted to ask, right? We've talked about headway and all of those things. Now let's talk about solutions. What are those things that you think that the government should do, individuals should do, in order for us to combat, insecurity in Nigeria? Because, last year there was a disbursement from the government, right? I think about 1.3 trillion naira for insecurity and for, all of these things to go down. still yet there's no change. I mean, to me, I'm actually not seeing any change. It's still the same. We read the papers. There's one news or the other, one kidnap story to the other, one ransom to the other. So, I mean, but I'd like to hear you. And let's talk about solution grounds now. What do you think the government should do differently? You made mention of something around 2006 being one of the toughest time when it comes to insecurity and all of that. But we don't somehow face it like right now. So I want to know what are those things you think the government successfully did back then that they are not doing now. And therefore, let's talk about it so that you can start talking about how to challenge insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, when in 2006, that was the height of the militancy in the Niger Delta. And of course, our oil production dropped from 2.5 million barrels a day to 600,000 barrels a day. I think that was even what made the government to panic, because that's the lifeline of the country. Unfortunately, we have not diversified. We have just keep all our eggs in one basket, and that is where we're getting revenue. Although the country is very rich, very, very rich, and then can bring up other minerals and other things, agriculture, that will give us real money. But, we decided to stay with oil because it's very easy to get, and the companies that are coming are cheating on us and everything. Then, in fact, that was when kidnapping was introduced in the Niger Delta. And from there, before, they were not even kidnapping for ransom. They were kidnapping people to draw attention, just like I told you about media, this thing. Draw attention to their problem that, oh, look, our place is very bad, oil has spoiled everything. And then when they kidnap the people, especially Americans or British people, the BBC will announce it, and then they release them. But after that, they started, I think a company was so impatient, and they went and paid the ransom. And that was where the militants said, oh my God, so there is money in this thing.
So they diversified.
Yes. So they started asking for money. They started asking for money, and the companies were paying, because before, we just negotiate and they will let them go. But now, they know that there is money, so you have to give them money. And then, of course, it went bad. It left the Niger Delta, it went to the east, it went to Lagos, it went into other parts of Nigeria, Abuja, where it's so degenerate that it went to a level where a boyfriend and girlfriend will arrest, will arrange, and then to be kidnapped. The girl will be kidnapped. They call her father and tell her father that the girl has been kidnapped. She should bring money, otherwise they'll kill her. And then the father will pay, and then the girl will either give the money to the boy, and then he goes overseas. All kinds of ridiculous things. In fact, there was one one case that we handled where the father, kidnapped his stepson, the son of his brother. He kidnapped him and was asking the father to bring his father, who is the brother, to bring money. It's so ridiculous. So we've come to the level where now bandits were not killing anybody before. Yeah, even the kidnappers, no deaths, because they were using the people as negotiation chips. But now they've started killing. Just like your partner just said. Sometimes after even the ransom has been paid, they go ahead and kill. And this is what we've been preaching. Don't go into the ransom payment route. In other countries, usually in kidnap cases, they have, professional negotiators who will engage, and I've done it many times. You engage and then talk with the kidnappers until the person is released. Sometimes they might ask for a whole bunch of money, but you can negotiate it to the barest minimum, and then get the person out safe. And that's the most important thing. But here, I think most families are negotiating kidnapping by themselves with the bandits, with whoever, without telling the police, because they feel that if they tell the police, maybe nothing will happen. So they negotiate directly, you know. So looking for solutions, this is one of them. You know, I think the president, Ahmed Tinubu, said it that we should not pay ransom again. But I think there are people are still paying ransom, you know. So they have to go ahead and enforce it. Make it a structural thing. Many people are being kidnapped that people don't even know. You know, they kidnap people, they negotiate, they pay, and they release their people to them, and nobody knows. You know.
Yeah.
So make it a structural thing. Get a central body, either in the police headquarters, you know, or in every police headquarters, where people who are trackers, people who are, they have the equipment, track down all these kidnappers and, you know, deal with them instead of allowing them, you know, because it's a low, easy to kidnap somebody, but the yield is very high. You know, the yield is very high. You can kidnap somebody with just an ordinary kitchen knife, you know, but when you start negotiating, the returns coming from it will be huge. So what do? Cut off that source. You know, you cut it off. And then, of course, when it dries up, you know, it decimates the whole thing. So there are many things we could do. There are root causes that we should look at. Why do people kidnap people? You know, who is kidnapping? Bandits are kidnapping people, all right? Okay, fine. What is the problem with the bandits? Why can't we talk to them? You know, Nigeria should start developing that attitude of problem solving. It is not always soldier, soldier, police, and all those kind of things. We should also start, you know, negotiating. This Boko Haram did not start violently. They started as religious preachers in Maiduguri. And then from there, it degenerated up to the extent where foreign people are now involved. ISWAP, the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, you know, became involved, and those ones are from Al Qaeda, all the way from Syria, Libya. They come all the way down to Nigeria. Because the fact that our borders are porous, and if the borders are porous, they can easily come in there.
And they see that they can thrive.
They can thrive because these people basically are from dry area. They are from desert. You know, the Sahara Desert. They move south and then they come into town and they see greenery. They see plants growing.
They see over 200 million Nigerians.
You know, many people and, you know, driving all kinds of cars, looking good and everything. And then you kidnap somebody and you say, bring 100 million and they are ready to pay. You know, say, this must be a very fertile ground. You know, and that's why you see them coming in. And then to make matters worse, our borders are porous. The northern borders are porous. You know, so solutions, we should start. And like I said, we're making a headway because the Minister of Internal Affairs, you know, just recently has, you know, established some kind of monitoring system, technological monitoring system that will know people who are passing in and out of the border. And again, wonderful. What they should do to support that is to have a very, very strong, quick response force.
Thank you very much for the information that you've given us. I like that you have also mentioned solutions, and that's first to heighten the security of our borders. Secondly, to make sure that it's not easy for people to just get ransoms just by not see kidnapping or banditry as a thriving opportunity for them. I've always seen community policing. I think that's one thing that has been going on and on, about where we, just like you rightly mentioned, that we should see ourselves as Nigerians first, before, maybe any tribe or religion. But this thing is something that is still far-fetched for Nigerians. So therefore, the community policing, as it is, if I know that I'm watching over where is mine, maybe I would take security, more seriously. And they cited that as a potential solution to Nigeria's security challenges. But what role do you think that this community police or policing can play in addressing these issues? We have neighborhood watch. I don't see them doing anything. They're just always riding bicycle up and down. And every time I see them riding bicycle, I'm like, what are you doing? Wear your blue and brown khaki up and down. I don't see that thing that...
You think they're not doing anything, right?
According to the things that I've seen and experienced, I don't
Okay.
see anything. So I'm talking from my own point of view, that I don't see anything being done except bicycle passing in front of me, going to another location. So how do you think that this community policing can play a role in addressing these issues, and how can they be implemented effectively?
Okay, community policing is good. I think that's what obtains everywhere, even here in the United States. But that's the process, community policing. But the structure that we need to put in place is state police, local government sheriffs. That's what it is. And what's the reason? The reason is because crime is committed in a locality. And if crime is committed in a locality, the best thing is to bring law enforcement to that locality. I'm very, very sure you've heard things like ungoverned spaces that we have in Nigeria. The bandits, the terrorists are occupying those ungoverned spaces. What are those ungoverned spaces? Those are places in the forest somewhere that when they come from the desert and come into Nigeria, they cannot come and rent a house and stay. So they go into the forest and then make up tents, and then they live there. And they live there because there is no presence of law enforcement in that place. So you find out that this is a very, very big problem on government spaces. And if we have state police, because right now, let me tell you, look at the structure of the police we have. The police we have, number one, there is a very serious distrust between the police, and the people.
I agree.
Now, police is supposed to serve and protect. Yeah, here in the United States, the logo in every police car, you see it: serve and protect, serve and protect. That's what they are supposed to do. Our police was not formed from the origin
to serve and
protect. Their own was to protect the colonialists. So, as they were protecting the colonialists, when people leave, when the colonialists left at independence, a new set of guys came into play. Those are the Nigerian politicians. And the Nigerian politicians did not change their orientation, to serve and protect the people. They now started becoming like the new Oyibo people, the new Oga people. That's why you see our big men live in GRA, they live in, VI, Ikoyi, then the run of the people, the other people are living on the mainland in Surulere or, Kokomaiko or something like that. So you find out that this disparity is what has caused a lot of problem, and the police itself, because it still maintains that colonial mentality of serving or protecting the big men or the high net worth people. Because if you have money, you can get even 15 mopol following you around. You see it. You see it every day. Mm-hmm. You see it every day. And why should the Inspector General of Police allow that? Because, those people are paying for the services. They are paying for the services. If you want to protect any network person like, Dangote or, the owner of Globe, In foreign countries, what they do, they don't use police. They use professional bodyguards, you know. And I am very, very familiar with some, companies that are producing bodyguards in Nigeria,
In Nigeria.
certified bodyguards. But we won't do that. We prefer to use the police with long gun because, according to police politicians, they are happy when they see Mopol following them. They believe that this is a sign of authority for Mopol to follow you, and then be blowing siren. They don't
Well,
know that it's not protection.
well,
You
sad.
do that, you're actually exposing yourself. You
To
know.
be honest, you have said concrete truths and some which I will get me thinking, like even after this show, to wonder how far we're now going to go in Nigeria, because one minute they seem like a way forward and solution when we highlight them. In other cases, it's almost like these same people who are supposed to prefer this solution or even implement them are still going to be the one to hold that solution and throw it in the waste bin because they do not care about what's happening. But I just want you to wrap up by telling us what you see for Nigeria security sector in the next 5 to 10 years, and how do you think that the country can, work to achieve them? Just in 1 minute.
Okay, in 1 minute. All right. You see, one thing is this: we need to be security cautious. We've come to the realization that to solve the Nigerian security problem will be by the people. By the people. Because we are communities. We grew up in communities. And then if we are together, even in an estate, if you're living in an estate, sometimes you remember what people do. They form vigilante among themselves, So we are security conscious, try to make sure that we are the first line of defense in dealing with this kind of, a thief is trying to come to your house and you're waiting for policeman to come. No, face him first and call the police to come, and that's how what we should do by being security conscious and not being asleep to our problems, get personal security measures in place. Don't wake up and start entering your car and be driving. Of course, the situation has made people to behave themselves. So, security problems start with you, and you should start developing that attitude.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. I will make sure to connect with you after the show. Thank you for joining us on this program and also helping us and giving us insights on this topic. I hope that we will still be able to have you on some other days talking about Nigeria's security issues until this thing gets eradicated. We will keep talking and trying to find solutions to ensure that we eradicate security challenges in Nigeria. And I want to say a very beautiful thank you to God's Beauty too for joining me on
Thank
this
you so
table
much,
this
Okeke.
morning. Now we know that it's us first
Us
before
first. Security conscious.
yes,
Nice
before
one.
any other thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you to our viewers also who have joined us to discuss this critical and important conversation. Do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. I will see you tomorrow talking about something else again to increase your wealth of knowledge. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content unsubscribe to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?